Is Celestial Husk. Atlanta, Georgia is that location. And yes, as we know, that first spot usually belongs straight to Mantis as we find ourselves up with the Venom band because the Jeff Save, you guys know the song and dance, 60% win rate and more with that team up of symbiotic shenanigans. Imma Save's going to go off right off the press. Typically love to see that early here, and then if you look at the bans, then I would at least guess we're going to get at least a Psylocke ban, potentially shut down not only the team up, but Molon around.
Yeah, I mean, I could absolutely see a Psylocke ban. They love banning Emma as well. Adam, only a few times here, and Winter Soldier. I mean, I personally think Winter Soldier, in terms of a ban, has been a little bit slept on. I mean, dive is very prevalent and strong in this meta, at least at this level of play in team play. You may be saying in ranked, oh, it can be shut down, but at this level of play with coordination, dive is incredibly strong. So getting rid of that Bucky enables that for your team. So they have done that here on Crazy Raccoon, which, you know, some teams have yet to do, but they've all admitted is in a very, very strong place right now.
Yeah, especially when you have like a standout duelist that really can just go and snowball like the hero does well. But hey, right there's the tip of the cap. J-Mac got to be playing Captain America, right? They saw that. They don't want to deal with it. He had like 20 eliminations, final hits, one game. Absolutely insanity. There's that Bucky save, though. And again, that's going to help fuel up the team. Taro sometimes plays that, allows Molon around to kind of have more fun in their flexibility that they have. You look at the bans here. What way do you think they're going? They want to go with more of a traditional route. I think Psylocke here would make sense. Hella, though, not bad either.
Yeah, I mean, the Hella ban makes sense. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of Fist or something, because it seems like when OUG is down a little bit in terms of team fights, they'll pull that out and try to make a play, and sometimes it actually turns the momentum for them. So, you know, maybe a little more targeted. Hella's obviously a great ban. We typically haven't seen a ton of teams running that new team up with Namor, though, besides teams like Fly, who are very strong with Vision, obviously, there. It was an incredible Namor. I think when you have a strong Namor player, that team up, it can be obscene. But, yeah, not very common, but Hella in general right now with that bird reduction in terms of cast time, it just really improved her level of play.
Dark Zero a little bit as well, because what it is with that lineup is it's tough to win the first battle, but once you've won that, it's such a good defensive hold. Hella can set up high ground, Namor can set up the squids, right, and then you can get the whole ocean at front with you here. As we see the lock-ins, it is going to be, and this is what I like, they had the Hella ban to the other team. They're going to run that composition, right? Yeah, you got to love that. You got to play with your ban, right, if you look at it here, and that's why I do love this format that we run, but there it is. It makes sense. The Psylocke, why not run it? Get that insane Echo team up that goes crazy.
Yeah, and they let the Emma through, which is surprising because that is their current most ban on the side of Crazy Raccoon. Maybe they don't believe OUG can run it in terms of matching them back to the same level. But again, we are going to be starting up here in Celestial Husk, the domination for the ages. First match here of the tournament. Final day of the group stages before we head into knockout. Man, am I excited. And again, folks, this is a crucial match. If you're pulling for OUG to get their first win here on a LAN event, although this team has been so dominant in China, this is their moment.
Here we go, guys. Setting up the stage is now match number 11 underway for this group. And looking at it, J-Mac did play a little bit of Angela, so we are going to have that flex over. And, you know, not the best Angela map in terms of what you can get out of value, but a lot of high-low ground you can kind of poke and get things out of position, so I do love that. Right now, going to give the small favor to OUG and what they're trying to roll out with here early. Obviously, NX going to be going from that penny. Showing a little bit of love there to the lineup that we know. J-Mac, though, did play a nasty Wolverine. Actually gave a huge highlight to him day one, so I do like this pick as well.
Yeah, look at this. I don't think we've yet to see a triple duelist coming out here off the rip. Yeah, that's definitely a change in pace. And this is what I was saying. Crazy Raccoon needs to do something different here if they want to show up in this moment. And again, they could be pulling OUG down with them in terms of the bracket. So eyes on here as we start off with Vital on this off angle onto DRP. Just dealing some damage, locking in a bit. Going to look towards Taro and hit the high side again. Again, folks, that bird cooldown reduction allows her to use that as essentially an instant iframe and come out with 25 additional overhealth. The positioning of this team right now is wild on the high side. J-Mac now trying to press forward. Already loses passive, though. Is going to be driven backwards. And wait, but no! Gets picked there by Duke.
Yeah, that is a massive opening and just saying, hey, we are here to play. And you know what I love about this is the Hella sight lines are favorable here, but not if you're in the spawn room, buddy. I mean, we're going to take a look at what we're adjusting to. J-Mac kind of switching around with Strange now going to Max. We are getting some fast adjustments early. They saw the comp ship, and we see this sometimes. They see the comp, they're like, okay, you know, let's go ahead and redo the battle plan here as we take a look at what they're going to try to roll with next. And really, you said it, that one Vanguard thing was not going to work out, man. They just did not have enough sustain.
Yeah, exactly, especially against a more front-to-back like this. They're going to have that Magneto really hold in front, and then obviously Taro is going to be just protecting that backline with Bucky. Molon is just going to be doing his own thing the entire time, and you essentially, with Psylocke right now in the current meta, farm that front line, and then go to the backline, press that Q button, and just watch the backline disappear. Molan is going to be doing just that already at 90%. Svald holding on to ultimate right now. Crazy Raccoon should be gaining in about 3 of them shortly, though everybody in this next fight will be pressing Q, but 35% on here for OUG.
Yeah, let's watch Molan Ron here. He's going to try to go back line. We'll see if he can pick off Lastro before it's too late. Sung Hoon going down a little early, but able to pop back up. Going to force the invisible boundary to give a little bit of comfort, and that is going to be at least one job finish. Ooh, they catch him with the Giganto in the finish and the flush. Okay, you forgot the floaties there if you were Molan Ron.
Yeah, trade back and forth there. Alt still going to be heavily in the favor of OUG for the current moment, but it doesn't matter to them. Right now, they're just holding on for the stall as NX is going to keep the pressure on into the back line, but it doesn't matter as they're doing a great job just playing around that natural cover of that wall that is indestructible. So they're just going to keep each other healed up in the patty cake format, if you will, as out goes that invisible boundary. J-Mac going to throw, trying to hope that Invis was going to jump to the right side, but no, that read did not pan out. J-Mac now just holding the front line and still holding on to that team up there with Emma.
Yeah, finally able to get something going with Vital here, getting the eye lines. JT3 is typically the mag player for them, so it is interesting. I'm wondering if J-Mac's not too comfortable on Mother. If you look at the seduction happening now, they do have eyes on the prize, and from the top ground, look at Vital just floating down, throwing down those thorns, and there's the kneel. But oh, a big interruption there to stop and slow down all of that.
And folks, notice how Emma put the shield behind. JT3 threw the shield behind the front line so that he could not be healed. Very smart play there. That's exactly what you're looking to do with Emma. That shield is so versatile. It can shut down ultimates, but it also can shut down line of sight into the back line. But right now, 90% on here for OUG. Crazy Raccoon needs to step up, but they do have ult advantage. They just cannot overcommit.
Yeah, with Dewey trying to have at least maybe a bit of a setup potentially for Taro. Taro can really pop off in the right moments if needed, so we'll see if they can just get ready. 89%, a good little cushion for them though, so they have plenty of time to get back into this thing. Get a little bit of the cross distraction going on with Vital up in the sky. Lastro though, what an absolute monster way to slow down what OUG needs to do. And that's going to buy their ticket right up to that 89% to match, right? I mean, it's going to be tough from this point on to be able, and you know what, OUG kind of like that because they're going to be able to build their ultimates up for the main battle. One more left.
Sure, absolutely. Molan is going to find a pick there too to try to even it out. I don't love what I saw there from Dudu in terms of walking forward a little bit too early. The team was not prepped for that and clearly, you know, paid the price. Out goes the whale from downtown. The horn is going to land on one, and they follow up here. Actually, they don't, as J-Mac now gets a pick onto Molan. It does find one, but it's just not who's going down at the moment. DRP looking towards the back line, holding onto that Meteor M. DRP is on the sticks, as you see in the bottom right there with the controller just battling away, playing nice and slow, but Vital with a great, again, off-angle, high-side positioning. Invis using that shield on Hela is essentially a way to buff Hela. It makes her play far more aggressive and much stronger.
This is the map to take right now if you're Crazy Raccoon, because Molan's not playing their best, and usually that is the anchor of the team that gets it rolling as we have the Armidages landing down, but DRP with a beautiful slam dunk, an opening here for the buzzer now as Taro Cookie looking for more, trying to get things rolling for this team now with the show on of MASH. We have show on show, dance feed dance the Luna going up with Lastro for more sustain. The kneels happen, and with this, OUG just trying to get themselves some space, but it's 94% in climbing for Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, Molan's got a huge opportunity here to shift this right now, but 98%, they've got a touch, obviously 3% on. Out goes that dance of the butterfly. Dewey is going to find 2. Svald going to find NX now, and that's 3 bodies down. Make it 4, why don't you, as J-Mac goes down. At this point, Portal's got to come in time. Not sure that it can, unless this touch comes through here from Vital. We'll see if Vital can get there. Looks like it will be able to, unless the KO comes through prior. It does come through. That should buy them enough time now, as Taro Cookie finds that pick.
It's right there, man. It is, yeah, like completely too close. Molan Ron, great little pick there on waiting for the strategist ults to go out, getting a slice and the dice and the finish there as Lastro now forced off the roll. Love whenever you have to see the Vanguard swap for the strategist, so kind of throws off some of the team's equality. But you look at what they've got loaded. Svald's going to be ready to get this sustained continued, and on the other side, not much outside of there, the Emma.
Yeah, and you see there the bond cooldown out from Vital's Adam, and that is a huge cooldown to have down in OT. Now you call that out and you find a pick on Lastro there from Svald as the team is just going to press W and walk forward onto the enemy's backline. Out goes a Psionic. Does this get value? Taro Cookie hits the sky, lands onto JT3 who gets healed up heavy. That reset will not come through. Great work there. JT3 finds 2. Down, Vital going to bring back. Down goes NX from DRP. The trades are still very apparent, but a Vanguard down for OUG leaves the front line more vulnerable, but Magneto does a great job of keeping that space. He's going to drop back here. Meteor M goes up. Does this one land in that boundary? We will see. Does not. Still holding. Again, the trades are happening. Alt up here. The dance floor for MASH.
and I love the switch to the Atom quickly, because what was he able to do? Get that Karmic Revival. That gives him so much extra juice. Kind of snuck that into the rotation, man. What a huge play as Molan's trying to get something rolling for the team. Finding, backing off of it. Finds the Atom. This would be a huge pick for them. Gonna have that passive not available. They just popped it not too long ago, right? So at this point, gonna slice dice up and gonna have to exit that battle early. Got the Agamotto ready, and once again, it's gonna be Lastro on the other side, who's now played a bit of everyone. Strange now into the side lock, and it's OUG continuing on the show.
Yeah, I mean, this is just insane. So back and forth even through the trades. Vital goes down and looks like holding on to that ultimate. Not necessarily needed in that moment, but still, OUG down again. Do is going to be making that shift. Dudu is going to be holding on here to, coming back as Spider-Man just to get here on the touch quickly. And wow, Crazy Raccoon are owning this. OT is at a sliver. It's all about maintaining, but great positioning there by the strategists. They have to collapse on them. They're trying to put too much force here onto the front line. Got to change up that location. Lastro is going to find one onto Dudu. Are you kidding? Still getting these picks through. Out goes the invisible boundary from Svald. The bond out from the side of Crazy Raccoon. Everybody is just playing safe and on their heels as NX gets another pick. And wow, Crazy Raccoon are looking very strong right now on this OT push.
Yeah, man, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, now as Dewey's going over to the Captain America. We're seeing a whole hero pool come out of these guys, and yeah, just a great hold. I mean, look at this is just an absolute doom match out here between them with a close-up slam. That man was right near the basket and finishes the flush. Now as Vital's going to throw up the resurrection, keep these Marvel zombies at play now, trying to find another with the ult fire and the good cooldown reset. And look at the dude, a Crazy Raccoon has played this to perfection right now. Has OUG on the heels. They both committed everything they have. I mean,
wow.
Legendary Mord, what an absolute dominant .1. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean, Crazy Raccoon just looked very, very good right there. You talked about their OT and the success in OT, and again, I think OUG was just constantly switching and having conversations of what they needed to find an answer instead of just locking in for a single fight. They kept coming back with different heroes, losing alt charge, panicking, and in that moment, Crazy Raccoon made the switch to Atom, played slow and safe. They used the res effectively, came in with Bond, which is a huge cooldown, but even bigger in overtime, and managed to take that through. OUG, though, is going to be holding on to a few ultimates, but there is an answer here from Shung-Hoon.
Yeah, you know what? Just great awareness from Vital, too. If he was not there with the quick fly-in, it was going to be a whole nother story if they were able to keep this thing going. It was 80%, 84 for OUG to start things off, so it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? They did a good example of that. Take a look at the big role players, Mash, just absolutely throwing down the healing this time around. For me, the big standout, Molan Ron, definitely wants to look to do better than 9 and 5. We've seen much more clutch plays from that man. Hopefully can see the star rise up in the biggest moment of his young career now. Looking forward to 29 seconds and climbing, like you said, with the legendary, my guy. Shung-Hoon's going to go in and burn that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see how they play this out. Do they bait it with Molan first? We'll have to see.
Yeah, so here's the deal. When you are using Psylocke, actually, you know, there's some things that you have answers to. Loki does great with crystals to save folks from Psylocke, but actually if you're getting solo ulted with Loki, if you use that invisibility, folks may not know this, you actually can dodge the ultimate. It will not target you if you are invisible. So, you know, and there's also a solution. You may want to use that dance floor from Shung-Hoon, but if there's not a lot of bodies around, you can still get bursted through right now with the current Psylocke ult. So it's tough to find the right answer in the moment. We'll see what they choose to do. Taro Cookie on the high side going to use that Galactic Legend towards JT3 in the front line, and there's the dance floor. It was pulled out from that Legend as you discussed.
Yeah, they found him. I mean, they got the lanterns out early and continued the finish there as Taro Cookie trying to find a little bit of space. We're going to go down JT3. Nice little seduction there as now we see the dance of the butterflies to slice the dice. Molan Ron gonna get NX out of this thing with the shields up. They got to make the most of this. Gonna go on the hunt now for Shung-Hoon, who does not have the ult anymore. And wow, what a good little duel that we had there between the two ladies. That's what you want to see here in the grand finals.
Yeah, coming out on top, Molan Ron, and that is exactly what he was trying to do. But it looked dicey. Like you said, the clap came out there from Shung-Hoon, and then it gets very scary. Taro Cookie gonna find Vital now, and again, OUG is gonna get point early on. They crumbled a little bit with 84%, and that is a, you know, not very common here in domination. They just seemed to panic and a little bit, you know, overcommit some of their abilities in ults, and I would argue Crazy Raccoon coming back with that comp change was what won them that fight. Look at this positioning here from Molan Ron in the back line, immediately going out with Lastro, trying to burn those crystals. Does not get the crystal cooldown, and it forces out Bubble. That's a trade there for Crazy Raccoon that they will take. Still owning that height. Folks, remember, they're always on height because it does give them fight advantage, and they'll commit when they think they can, and those cooldowns burned is their time to commit. On to Vital now and dropping back towards the back line. Still going to keep eyes there, but is dicey once more. 75% HP in a Dream is still there. 100 now does go down from Vital with a nice headshot.
the little mosquito on the shoulder, you know, and sometimes you find it and finish it, and they did get the health back, but yeah, a nice stun there from Vital to finish it off. Vital, one of the most lethal in the aim department. Mechanics are on fire, played Black Widow the whole time. We saw what he did earlier, though, as the show goes on, as Lastro continues to keep this team in it, and DRP tries to find their connection. Woo! Sneaks it in there and threads the needle from the shield, and just like that, the follow-up from OUG cleans this thing up, and the point's still theirs, man, just to stay. What a beauty.
Yeah, Bruce Banner has turned into the Hulk, folks. OUG is mad, and you can see it. Vital does have ult here. Svald will have an answer, but you see Taro Cookie and Molan ready as well to commit in these fights. There's not a lot of answers. Shung Hoon will have that ult for at least one, but again, we saw what happened last time. Can they still find value through it? Yes, they can. Taro Cookie, we'll see that crack and impact potentially here shortly with some decent influence. The pressure now moving forward. J-Mac, one of your personal stars on that cap, which was banned out here on that Magneto with great positioning. Again, looking on these off angles towards the back line, trying to pull eyes away so the team can move forward, and that is what you try to do to take spaces. Molan finds Lastro, and that cooldown of those crystals is gone.
Yeah, finding that within the neutral was massive, because now there's going to be no response. Junghoon's going to be able to get the show out, but right shortly after, we'll see if Taro just puts on the full gas. That's what I would do, play aggro here, because there's not much. You count the cooldowns, you know they have nothing. Loki just happened not too long ago. So Taro, want to see that out? No, don't get hit by the whale, my friend. You took the entire 10,000 pounds right on you, my man. That was an absolute disgusting, giganto.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough right there. When the horn comes through, you got to get out. Unfortunately, great stun there from Vital. That hella stun right to the center was some crazy coordination. Molan going to jump off to reset with the team and just try once more. Again, they're at 99%. The issue they had last time is they need to have one successful full team ult fight. They did not do that. They kept staggering. They were trying to make hero plays as individuals. You need to stay as a unit, and this is the only problem that OUG has had. They're playing as individuals. They need to learn to work as a team, as they are a newer composition of different players.
Yeah, you play in a duo, and you're going to hella Namor, write that down, because that is the team up in every sense of the word to set up the whale like that, not only getting the dirge, but as well as the stun with it. DRP wants every bit of it, gets the echoes out, tries to get the pressure on. Love the rotation. We'll see what happens on the backside of this thing, as Dewey's going to try to get some one-on-one of the MI Vanguard v Vanguard. Again, point is over to Crazy Raccoon. This is exactly what they wanted last time. Keep this thing ticking. I love the fight on the high ground with the big ones on the low ground, as it's just a duel of absolute fates, and it's Mulan, though. Mulan Ron able to clean up the rest of JT3, and OUG follows.
Oh, 2 picks and an ult pulled out from Lastro is a ton of value. Make it 3, why don't you, as they are holding this point and trying to retake 60% here for Crazy Raccoon, but OUG is built a little bit differently as Molan finds another OT starting now, 99%. The retake has to start. Loki playing low, just waiting to come through, but what a shot there by Taro. Molan as well, just holding on to the point, not allowing them to get through, and they cannot. It's a 1-1.
That's exactly the point they wanted to have for the bounce back, right? You know, and what was the big difference again? Once again, I think Molan kind of got back into things, got back into the swing, and if you're Crazy Raccoon, that was a game to take right there. Don't let them get any time to adjust, readjust, and get things ready. But really, ult economy-wise, was just always in favor for OUG. Had a lot of responses outside of that beautiful whale. You know, I got to tip the cap to Crazy Raccoon that what they've been able to pull off has been pretty spicy. For me, the Vanguard difference, though, has been the big apparent diff, if you will.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, DRP looks very good out there, so some huge Meteor M's. If you throw that rock and it lands on the dome of a strategist, goodbye and insane value, because typically when you're throwing that Magneto ball, it's going to be at a strategist who is mid-ult, so that trade is always valuable.
Yeah, and hey, Molan Ron, 2 eliminations last match, up to 9 for the high of the lobby. That's what you want to see, right, from the big man. NX, though, I mean, he got, what, 3 of those on that one whale. Absolutely beauty. And again, keep your eyes on NX. Him and Vital are absolutely crazy. If they don't make it, you know, obviously in our next stage, as we've talked about, this team can put something really special together as we move on into this early esports scene here, Shib.
Yeah, we're very much in the infancy of this esport, and that's what's a beauty about it, especially, you know, we talked about this in the past over on the other stream. Again, there is 2 streams here for 2 different sets of games about that. You know, these teams are still learning not only how to play effectively, but how to adapt consistently to meta changes that are happening here with rivals and these devs that are putting in some serious work to make the game fresh on some fresh changes. The space is owned here, and this is that structure that J-Mac will play around here on Angela for days. It's very difficult to fight an Angela who is consistently flying around and juking the frontline pressure. But again, you got to keep your eyes on the back line as Molan going to start up here with the dance. Does that find value? No, is going to pull out some cooldowns. Almost gets caught there. He Does get caught there from NX on an off angle. Good play there. One down, and numbers are up here for Crazy Raccoon. Ults are committed. Up goes the Goddess of Death, who does come down quickly. NX has that Horn of Proteus available. The Whale coming in as Vital, takes out DRP, and JT3 with another pick, and that is space, and that is percentage.
Yeah, nice little peekaboo there. Moment where to stay with your target, and just a rotation from J-Mac. I mean, we can't highlight that enough. The skill ceiling for Angelo is so high. You have to keep your eyes on so many things at once. The call-outs, obviously grouping together for the Psylocke ult is going to help out, but also just trying to get some separation for the team. Again, J-Mac can do it all here in the Vanguard position, but wow, what a great opening. And this time, Shoes on the other front, right? They're able to get a little bit more of a comfortable spacing. You know, last time they went up 90%. This time they can give themselves a little bit of leeway here, but looking at OUG, plenty of setup, wombo combo potential. And let's see if we get this Whale again, though, with the old Vital setup.
Yeah, and Taro Cookie looking for a big crack and impact again. DRP with one as Fall finds NX. And you see Mash there on JT3. That is 3 numbers instantly on the retake. And that is exactly what you're looking to do if you lose that first fight, if your percentage needs to go up. But there's that dance on the structure. J-Mac, pulled right out of the sky there. Very well played from the side of Taro Cookie, who's been a little more patient with that ultimate, really holding on to that crack and impact, but clearly didn't need it on that fight. 45% is not a bad retake at all from OUG.
That was quick, man. That was, I mean, that was absolutely lightning pace. And really, Sfald has been hitting some insane final limbs. I've been watching that name on the old limb feed plenty here as throwing out the old voltage ball early trying. I love whenever you get Angela grounded there, you can just finish off. You know, I've seen a couple times Taro set that up, gets the Angela grounded, slams down with the crack and impact. What a 1-2 play now, just continuing to really not build up the old times 100 as Molan Ron gets Lastro out, and that's just going to slow down exactly what Crazy Raccoon needed here to continue on the fight.
Yeah, that is an ideal pick there, dropping a strategist when your team has full ults like this. Now you've got to think, do we overcommit here, down a number, or do we reset together and give them more time? The answer is to reset, but when you have this many ults available, you don't want the enemy to get the same amount of ults. You have a desire to commit, and that is the mental battle of rivals in a nutshell. Off angle here from J-Mac, trying to find a pick, does not land, but ton of damage out, is holding on to that retribution. Will that come through in a moment? I believe it will. Bang, coming in heavy. Can they commit? But no, DRP again, gonna find one. There is that Whale from NX on a Sfald, Taro Cookie on a J-Mac. Out goes the crack and impact. Will this one land? It does, but no reset as it's matched with the dance floor.
Yeah, show on show here, and I cannot highlight the movement enough from the Angela. I mean, just absolutely perfection. DRP has landed these time and time again. That's his third. Let's go and get a 3-piece on it with the follow-up. Man, truly the master of magnetism. My guy with the quick follow from Molan Ron as well. Hey, man, DRP making a little name for himself too, man. I'm sure you're happy over there as a Vanguard player.
Oh, yeah, as a Vanguard man, this guy is locked in right now, does not want to lose this match, looking to progress forward here and just keep the wins coming. That was some real clean play and a lot of neutral battles. We see a lot of these. Oh, wow. I mean, Molan doing exactly what he needs to do. Always finding picks in the neutral without an ultimate on Psylocke into the backline, especially after a respawn like that. That is crazy. Gives your team more percentage. 97, 98% here. And the team's thinking about maybe having to go back because Molan is taking them out of the spawn door. DRP now going to find Chung Hoon. Numbers heavily up for OUG. Molan, can you make it 3? And yes, he does. Taro Cookie going to help clean that up on JT3. J-Mac goes down. OT ticking down, and that will be a W for OUG.
Man, listen, I know they have a little jet lag over there. Maybe Molan Ron just kind of warming up, right? You know, just trying to wake up a little bit because he truly found himself in the last 2 games. And you have to play those hella aggressions early because you've got such, you know, hella finds yourself in the right mid-range, you're done. And so just finishing up with the quick dash and flash. OUG doing exactly what I thought they would. Crazy Raccoon, though, put up a heck of a fight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of folks that I want to shout out. DRP definitely being one of them with a lot of value, a lot of finals there. Molan just devastating the backline. Imagine needing to have communication of, can you help me get out of the spawn door? I literally can't get out of the spawn door 3 times there. 15 finals from DRP there. Wow.
Yo, bro, hey, 8 finals from Sfald. I'm telling you, look at that. He matches Vital and Taro Cookie. I'm telling you, I saw this man continually get those picks ready and 11k damage to boot. Okay, King, we see you down there on the Sioux Storm. Reed Richards, he's applauding somewhere out there as we're not going to see him. We're not going to see him here on the big stage, probably.
Yeah, I mean, that is an absolute battle. As we check out the highlights here again, and we're going to see some of these names that we just witnessed. Folks, the map now is going to be chosen here by Crazy Raccoon. They choose mode and map, and that is how it will go throughout this tournament here in the group stages. Some good plays again from Crazy Raccoon, but OUG showing up after that initial map loss.
Yeah, no, it's tough when you look at, the comparison of role to role. I feel like they've measured up well. I guess now, I was talking about the Vanguards. I'm going to get the edge on the strategist front for OUG, though, really kind of shining and doing more than just that healing role, right? If you could get that extra value, typically be tough if there's a dive comp, but that time just kind of pure neutral ground fighting the old-fashioned way, and I feel like the extra edge that OUG gave was what was the final decision maker, and just locking in more as that unit.
Yeah, I mean, they really did look like they just stepped it up a notch on map 2 and 3 there. They were far more locked and doing exactly what they needed to do. This combo was cool, though. The Angie combo with the whale from downtown is going to find some value, but still, you look at the feed there, and you can just see in the opposition just KOs for days. Again, DRP, that's 1. Make it 2 and 3 at that final fight. Just a very, very strong Magneto.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and if we look at what Crazy Raccoon might pick, there's a few different paths they can take. I've seen some crazy stuff on Yggdrasil, but there's been one map they kind of lean on, Shib, whenever things are going a little bit rough, man. Listen, I know this is your first time seeing Crazy Raccoon and OUG, at least in the casting front. What have you thought of these two teams so far?
I'll tell you what, OUG looks really good. Crazy Raccoon on that first map, that retake was genius. I think that shows a composed team, which is awesome to see. But OUG, I see a ton of talent. Again, looking at the win-loss ratio, I'm a little confused. I have had eyes on these games after the fact. I haven't been on this stream yet to see them in action, but I've heard they're stepping up to the talent of who they're going against. And I think a team that's able to do that is a team that can push very far in this tournament. Seems like this bracket is just a very tough one to progress through.
Dude, it's truly a shame that it's day 3, because I'm telling you, the talent here has been absolutely immense, and they've played up to their talent, right? But again, it's just job not finished, right? One of these obviously had to come away with a win here, but OUG, the one that could truly make the jump into the next stage. I want to see it personally. Would love to see it myself. Y'all, that was a great match 1. We got match number 2 coming up in just a second, or map number 2. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break and reset.
Which ones have what it takes to become the best of the best?
The fight is gonna happen right here, right now.
我们是 OUG， 让全世界再听到我们的声音。
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Let the world hear us again, they said, as we take a look at Jeff, the baby land shark. It's trick or treat season, Shib. And my gosh, I gotta say, out of all the skins, man, that's the most adorable mascot you're ever gonna see.
Yeah, I always make the joke about kids in scary movies. That's Jeff for you. You know what I mean? Just terrifying, especially when going under with that. It's Jeff. We've seen a ton of Jeff in this tournament, and I'll tell you what, that just goes to show you how strong Jeff is as a hero in this meta, and almost in all these last few metas with how good he is. But look at this skin. Are you kidding me? This little pumpkin coming at you, the jack-o'-lantern.
The candy. That's what I love about these skins and costumes, too, because they do the sound effects, they do the little things like, just reloading not the fish, but the candy. It's like the little things that really, I feel like, shine here as you see the pumpkins and the music play, the bats. I mean, it's iconic. That's something like, imagine seeing this in the grand finals of it all, and that's how you lose to that.
Yeah, I mean, I love the alt VFX. I think it's a huge addition to the game here. Look at Jeff for the MVP. Eating the full candy on the reload with wrapper on is just different, and jumping in here on those toys. Big fan of this skin, big fan of this hero right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and a little look at Namor in the Phantom side over there as well, my friends. And I expect to see some Jeff here probably in our next matchup. And they said, what? Let the world hear us is what OUG wants to say. And hey, they're doing it right here. Again, job's not finished. Got to win right here, right now. And then, a little further along, that battle against Citadel Gaming is going to be the matchup to watch. But taking a look at the map pool and where we might find our next location, listen, I mean, there's plenty of maps to take advantage of. Hall of Djalia has been in favor for sure for these teams as well. I believe Crazy Raccoon was able to get a game off Citadel there, and that was a huge win for them. So looking at it, I mean, you can have your pick of Convergence or Convoy. Where do you think we go?
Yeah, I mean, they have to choose Hall of Djalia, right? When you're comfortable, just repeat it. Unless they're trying to shake things up on, something unexpected. Maybe we see Hell's Heaven, or Heart of Heaven, which I think is a map that's a little bit slept on. I think that smoke enables more brawl compositions, but then again, that might play right into the hand of something like an Iron Fist.
Yeah, to your point though, yeah, if you won, that's going to give you the confidence to pick it again, right? And they played this map so well. Actually, Shiv and I were just talking about it. This is one of our favorite maps to cast because I feel like there's just so much that could go on. Point one is an absolute just brawl if you can get it, and then you try to carry that momentum in. If you're able to cap point two, you get that extra time to make usually the finish. There's just always cinema here.
Yeah, and they do like that more pokey composition as we saw in that last domination and that Streech phase there. That is the perfect comp to run, and then you can play around with those off-angle tackles going through building, very destructible location. This map is a favorite of the pros. We have seen it a lot, but again, Crazy Raccoon have picked it and won in the past. Let's see what they do here in the bans.
First of all, all right, we get the Mantis, ban out of the way. We can move on to the good stuff here, as we know. But hey, right then and there, I wanted to see the Captain America save right off the get. And we saw what they could do, J-Mac, off the hero. But what that does also is it allows JT3 to play their comfort picks, which was the mag. And we kind of saw the inverse of that last time. So love the way to open things up. Venom going to be banned off the get as well with the Winter Soldier save. So a little bit of a, I think they really like what they were able to do there with Taro. And then again, that allows Molon to do what, he does best.
Absolutely. Now, goodbye to Emma. Again, I think that is a smart decision. I think we saw some good influence there from Emma. We talked about the versatility of that shield, locking off LOS and ultimates. And again, a lock-in here of the Bucky. Another one of those picks that hasn't been banned as frequently as you would think, but Crazy Raccoon in the past has been known to ban that Winter Soldier. So again, that makes sense. And that's just doing your homework against who you're going against. Goodbye to the Star-Lord as well. Star-Lord, at this level of play, does great into triple strategist with a triple strategist composition because you can get that ult incredibly quickly. All the focus is on you. It allows you to play hyper aggro. You press that Q button, and then it forces out a ton of cooldowns in the backline.
And that is how they won last time. Inex on the Star-Lord was a big difference maker for them. So they did their homework. Great job on them. Realized this was their strong map. I think they expected to go here too. They got the early win. That's what they do best here at the pro scenes. The save over to the Magneto is going to be helpful for OUG as we look at the next ban and taking a look at what they can go with. For me, if I'm them, I would potentially roll out with they're going to go with Hela again, which I respect. Give Vital the sightlines. And point one, sightlines aren't great. Point two, Hela has full dominance. As
you see the lock-in right there, great call out. That Streets phase once more. A lot of height, a lot of off-angling. And again, when you are fighting down that main, even back to front or front to back compositions, you just have a great LOS and line with a little bit of height on the back line.
Is this a Namor ban, right? Are they trying to bait this out maybe? Yeah, that'd be weird. We haven't had a lot of Namor bans out there, but I think it would be interesting. Okay, hey, you know what? I dig it. I think they're still going to play Hela regardless. We might see that with Vital. But I love, and sometimes we actually been seeing this a lot, right? They've been baiting these bans out. We've been seeing this time time and time again, and that's something at the pro play that's kind of, as this scene ages, it's something we're getting more of here, and I love it, man. I'm all about it.
Oh, there's such a chess match here, not only in the ban phase, but in the map selection. I mean, teams are noticing what maps they're playing, the opposition is playing, and they're going to scrim and practice on that map because they want to hone in their skill knowing, hey, this is what they're likely going to pick, right? So there's a chess match there, and then the mental game of, they think we might be going there. Should we run something else? Maybe something they haven't practiced before. There is so much to this game, not only in the bans, not only in the battles, in the ults, in the timing, in the tracking, in the communication, but even in scrims and practice of specific maps.
Yeah, shout out to you Marvel Snap fans, knowing to have that poker face, right? Now, you know, always be cool under pressure, but listen, Crazy Raccoon, they played a crazy, I know the pun in there, but they played a crazy Black Widow. Would love to see it here on the second point of the sightlines. Like I said, thought the hell it would come out either way. So we do have that in the look that they'll be rolling with. They're going to try to do this. We talk about this all the time, little mine, the mine action that you get, and I am always in favor of take the damage, let the strategist build up the ult, and go from there.
Yeah, I don't love it either, especially if you enable some of these frontline Vanguards to come and take that damage, feed the backline.
Last time, Doctor Strange Portal was huge here. This was the play, the exact map we saw it on. Will we see it again, my friend?
Yeah, it looks like they're lining that up, and they are. They are going to protect it. The jump there so you can't fall to Portal. That's a little pro tip as we see the Portal come through onto the back line. It is going to put it right near this heel so that the strategist can play around it. Gives them height now, and this is a strategy we've seen a lot in the past. JMac going to switch up here, come back in with Cap, and that is a very smart play. The whole strat line is now going to be behind them. Well, now he gets free pressure onto their backline as they rotate and switch spawns, quote-unquote, here in this battle. He's going to fight the strategist, and now everyone else has eyes forward, and they are completely switching spawn. JT3 going to find Taro Cookie now, and again, strategy works out immensely as numbers up in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that point, you split up anyway most of the time on Main Street in this little indoor cover, and J-Mac going to be throwing the punches. Watch this man on Cap. It is absolutely disgusting what he can put together here as JT3 is going to find yet another. They're just making quick Swiss cheese of this defense and pushing and imposing their will, but Shunghoon is going to get a nice little pick on Molan, and that's going to go ahead and snowball his fall too. So at this point, what was looking like an easy bend, they did not break. Look at J-Mac with the quick shield pop there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a stagger. Again, there's one of those little things that as you climb ladder you will take as a huge advantage, forcing their spawn to be more delayed and does not allow them to set up the way they want to or take the space right back, because if they lose another, it's another stagger and that train will continue. Teams need to stack as 6. As you see J-Mac once more setting up on the back angle. We've seen J-Mac a lot. You shouted him out earlier. Very strong Cap, and they let it through this time. Maybe they are regretting that now, who's already almost at that freedom charge.
Dude, they're speed running. I mean, they're already through point 2 with ease. I mean, I feel like you blink and it's done here, as Lastro does have that Jeff time ready to roll, and that's going to be huge on this part of the map if they want to continue this aggression. Both sustain is there for OUG right now, really fighting against the wall. This is truly a hometown court advantage for Crazy Raccoon, as we're going to have Jeff with the old J-Mac to paint the trail of freedom, and look at that. Once again, finds a 2 with ease, and down does not go. They seem to find their way back.
Yeah, and Molan with an alt commitment there, and Mash is going to be bringing out the dance floor too. Shunghoon and Vital still holding on to that alt. DRP, though, has not missed many of these. Will this one land? Very low in HP, 20 HP, does go down to Vital, who makes sure that they pay the price. Again, Crazy Raccoon looking lights out on this map.
I know. I mean, they definitely have the battle plan. They made Citadel really struggle here, so love to see it continue on now as point 2 is about to be. I mean, this is insane. There's no shot of an overtime if they got 4 minutes on the clock right now.
Man.
Vital with the hit. They still have the res too. This is OUG is caught by pure surprise here. Crazy Raccoon, they won in the ban and pick phase, in my opinion, and they continue to put on the pressure. Look at J-Mac, man. Look at this aggression.
Yeah, they are not stopping this train. The momentum is so much in the favor of Crazy Raccoon. OUG needs to reset. We're going to see a change in composition likely, or at least getting together as 6 and locking in on J-Mac, who is just causing so much mayhem in the backline. They have yet to be able to figure it out and find a solution. And again, we've seen it time and time again on this map. Teams can start to learn and figure it out and bide some time here, but if they keep this aggression up, there is still 5 minutes here on point 3. This is insane. J-Mac now walking forward, has that freedom charge, not afraid to initiate with it because you get that speed and you can walk forward. OUG only has 1 ult available at this moment, and there's that initiation. Mash is very close to ult with the dance floor though.
Yeah, man, he's absolutely taping down the W key. I mean, just pure aggression from the Cap here now, as NX is going to continue to find more from it. I mean, I have not seen a 4-minute Cap in any of this pro play. That would be absolutely insane on the clock either way. Even with a minute, it's enough to get the win usually, though. Taro Cookie trying to get this team on the right track. Backs against quite the wall, seeing if they have enough support to bounce back with. And J-Mac, though, hunting for more. These strategists can't even heal. They're just trying to stay alive at this point now, as you get a nice little stun, at least giving him some space fall there with the external extermination. But it's J3, all eyes on him as they continue to press forward.
Yeah, out goes that Psionic Seduction. It's Jeff is launched to Lastro. There's the kick right into a wall, punted, grab, bang, right in, but still can have that dance floor to stay healthy. Mash is in a dangerous position, is going to elect to drop backwards there with JT3, and they're going to reset on point. Do is weak, but still holding on. Just going to use that to block the heals. Great positioning again on that shield from JT3. Notice, consistently placing that shield to block LOS of the backline from whoever's in danger. Shunghoon going to find one. Crazy Raccoon just keeps finding numbers, but is going to lose one from Taro Cookie. Do is going to heavily engage here with that charge, but the res is going to bring everyone right back. We have another 6v6 fight as the spawn is heavily closer here for OUG.
Yeah, that was a huge early res. The DRP goes down with the meteor ammo. I was about to just say that those two ults are going to dictate what the rest of this map happens, and that is just a huge fall early. Svol does have another extermination, can keep the team alive a tad bit. Dewey doing a great job just staying alive through all this madness. Here comes a Phoenix down quickly with a bit of mustard on it. JT3 finds more to it. Vital going to come back. That res used, and they're doing a good job keeping this thing alive. This is the big one, and it does not connect at all. That was with sailing.
Yeah, shout out here to OUG, still holding on in that corner against JMac with a very unique backline in terms of kind of playing their own game and leaving Mash alone, who's still holding on, able to get that ult and get to the dance floor onto the point. Lastro gonna find DRP though. JMac now on a LAN, and X finds two. JMac now on a Taro, and that is going to be all 3 points with 3 minutes on.
Yo, isn't this JMac guy insane?
Wow.
I mean, he's an absolute animal. I mean, doing everything that Steve Rogers wouldn't do in the MCU, just pure violence out there from what we're seeing of the JMac. Again, it's why I'm sad to see some of these players go, because there's just so much talent here at the top level. Looking at what they're going to do here, the reason JMac is going on the defensive side of this is where we saw the portal play that took Pauly out on the stairs. We'll truly see if OUG did their homework, because if they did, they saw this clip that was making its rounds around Reddit, Twitter, and all that good stuff as we take a look. Now we're going to go offensively. Listen, what was there, like 3 minutes, 2:50, something on the clock there?
Yeah, 2:44, I believe, almost 3 full minutes, man.
I mean, you at least need a minute and a half, because actually when you have a lot of time like that, it gets a bit more less favorable, right? So if it's all the way to 0 and then one team has 45 seconds, huge advantage. But on the other flip, if you could just get a minute and a half, that's enough time to kind of stall things out, have the overtime kick on. So that's kind of their goal mark if they even want to make this thing interesting.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, look at these stat lines, man. Again, that was an absolute walking right there. They looked clean as can be. Crazy Raccoon very comfortable on this map, and you could see it. The momentum did not stop. Vital, the only one to fall, but was playing Warlock. Who cares? You have that self-res. Bring the team back if you need to. And, you know, he didn't even need to bring the team back. Only bring an NX back one time. I mean, are you kidding me? Crazy Raccoon, this is their map.
JMac, 8 eliminations, more damage than anyone on the team over there, but OUG for a cap. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Absolute wild here. Now, we do hopefully get eyes on this portal play. Not sure if we're going to see JMac try to throw it out early. You know, we did miss the opening there, but that was what they were trying to do now. He's going to quickly go back over to the cap that he plays best. Dewey looking to go better than that eliminations that they just saw here. Now looking to take the top in, try to get that strategist play of what JMac did so well last time, and it's going to be a little cap on cap like the movies, bud.
Yeah, dude trying to find an off angle. Molan going to be there as well, but very low already. 150 HP in this battle, and is going to have that Jeff pocket. Will it be enough? Yes, it is going to be enough at the moment. Great play here. Jeff Cap versus Jeff Cap. It is mayhem. There's water everywhere. They're slipping and sliding. Is going to not find a pick here. Dude is going to drop back, but is very low.
Absolutely, like something you've seen like an underground scene, like just absolutely insane there. As now once again, it's the Cap and Jeff show that we're seeing. Forget the point. This is where the action is, y'all. This is the true finals in the making now. It's just trying to get away. Dewey cannot. And Taro Cookie though does find the best of Vital. That's gonna, you know, at least help them get a little bit of space now. And for me, it's Molan Ron on this Jeff ult. Can he secure it? There's an easy edge right there that can push forward to the path of victory. Fall close to the res as well.
Yeah, and due to such a strong cap, it's crazy to see JMac come back and just do it a little bit better here. That's going to be a huge seduction. Can they play off it as Bond is launched as well on the side of Crazy Raccoon? But the whole team going to be rezzed out, finding one here with the It's Jeff. Lastro going to try to off-map, aim it low so you cannot float backwards. That's exactly what happens as DRP goes off-map. NX going to find Svald. Numbers up now again for Crazy Raccoon on the defense, and JMac going to land directly on the head of Molan.
Dude, this is quite literally the most home court advantage I've seen for a team. They play like a different, it's like, it's just the scrim map all the time. I mean, they play truly like a different, it's like they know exactly where to go and what to do. JMac with that save on cap was such a big win condition for them here. Looking forward though, DRP does have himself the Meteor M, can land that, make that matter, but Vital has the res. This is with the Freedom Charge ship, I mean, I don't care if there's a minute 56 seconds. It's going to be a tough one to earn.
Yeah, I like the change up here from OUG in terms of pulling out the group. They just need to change something, right? They need to find a solution to change the pace, because at the moment, whatever they're running is not working. And if you just stay on that comp forever, you lose way too much time. So a fast switch here. Up we go again on the sticks. Bang, goes down, but Cap pulled slightly backwards. Not going to do enough damage to find some value there. J-Mac did force that ult out. DRP with the same. Taro Cookie close. And it's going to be a combo there with Dudu.
Yeah, here's the lunchtime. This is really what matters. Can he get Vital with this quick eat? And that's what he's going to go for. Vital knows it's coming for him. No, he's going to go for the point more, and good adjustments. Oh, he does decide to quickly. Oh, it's going to come up empty. He couldn't decide whether he's going to go for the point or Vital. I think he saw Vital at the last second, tried to adjust, and found nothing from it. I mean, this is pretty much the swan song here on this part of the map. They can continue to try, but right now it's all Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, I mean, really good positioning there by Vital. Got to shout that out. Who just knew that was coming. He was ready to juke it at all costs, even on Warlock. It's very difficult to do that. Tackle comes in onto Taro's fault. Gonna find Lastro, and Vital bringing everyone right back into the fight, but those walls are detrimental. Able to escape now, not able to look upwards. More damage there. Ulted right to the roof. Can they keep the pressure on? And another Born Again here with that Karmic Revival, and this time Sfald is gonna bring the team back, but the retake is necessary. 45 seconds on the clock. They need to find some presence. No, NX gonna shut that down quickly as Do is walking backwards on the reset, and everything is happening quickly. The team is panicking, need to reset. Out goes again a Psionic that finds 2. This will be cleaned up likely as Do is just gonna try to reset, but at 26 seconds on, it's gonna be a forced touch.
I mean, an absolute aggro final boss here. Just there's no space in the making that they can even find. They do have the Meteor Aim in the show to try to get at least something rolling for this team. Not even a tick.
Wow, J-Mac.
J-Mac's in the spawn. He's like, hey, can I join this roster at this point? I mean, absolutely a menace here as the Vanguards are pushing.
Oh, he's going to push him in with ult.
Yeah.
He's going to push him in with ult with the shield.
And not going to allow
he
any
got
room to try to get back.
Oh, no, Lastro ate him to cancel it.
That was a speed run, folks. That was an absolute speed run in terms of what we've seen in the grand finals. I mean, that would make you think that Crazy Raccoon is absolutely undefeated. This is what blows my mind. Crazy Raccoon, they're out, right? I mean, they're out, and it's not showing. They're like, you know what, OUG, we're taking you with us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, they just look so coordinated there. It was insane. Even on that final retake where they knew the portal had to come in, they have Cap there with Freedom Charge, and with Cap, for those who maybe don't know, if you Freedom Charge and hold your shield out and run, you'll actually push enemies away. So you could shove Cap or Strange right back into the spawn, but you know what? They didn't even need it, because Lastro with that eat at the end there to cancel it himself, just very smart play, and wow, Crazy Raccoon just blew my mind.
You can't, there's nothing to even highlight on the top end there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and take a look at Crazy Raccoon and what they continue to do. I mean, hey, I don't know about much, but the recipe for success, I would say, is your Vanguards not being eliminated one time might help you out with some W's there.
Wow,
as we continue to see 9 and 9 eliminations on both fronts. NX continuing to sweep up as well. That was just perfect play from start to finish there. I mean, you know, you look at one, you know, player's Sfald was able to get something rolling for that team. Maybe that's something to highlight, but other than that, you had swaps on rolls, so not much there in terms of things that we can showcase. And OUG, got to reset, reload. You get to pick the map for the final hit there, and so, you know, you do have that. It's in your court. The ball's in your court.
And you know what map that's going to be, folks. If you watched OUG, Midtown will be coming up here shortly. And now the question is, will Crazy Raccoon maybe get rid of that Iron Fist that has been a huge problem on Midtown for everyone else? And they keep finding success. It seems like these teams really lock in on certain maps. As you're seeing Crazy Raccoon just doing some crazy work, if you will. Really, not a lot of highlights here for OUG. A lot of it just being J-Mac doing work, as well as things like NX and JT3. This team looked so strong right here, but is that map win enough for them to shift the momentum and take this home?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, we're going to be highlighting our MVPs of this stage. J-Mac, you know, win or go home, still going to be one I have to shout out. And yeah, listen, it's funny. Team from China finds New York as their home base that they'll be utilizing. And I mean, it's absolutely crazy because if the Iron Fist is out of there, it's the Psylocke. They can really play to their comfort of what they want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you ignore the Mantis ban and go Cap ban first, because that was it. The Cap was truly going to be what I thought was the difference maker there.
Yeah, again, so I kind of discussed this with you, and I'm curious on your take, right? They have to choose Midtown, right? They've taken games from some of the quote-unquote strongest teams here in this tournament on that map, and as you see the breakdown here, folks, obviously the last map was a convergence, so this time it is going to be a convoy. So what do you think, bud?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I do think it will be the mid-town. I want to just highlight for people that are just now coming in, again, OUG, they have to win this. They win this, they give themselves quite literally, it's that win and get in mentality, right? And so that's the chance they want. So much to lose for this team that, you know, even in mid-season, wanted to play better, get tighter in what they could do. Again, a little bit sad to see that unable to kind of tighten up everything there at the end, not enough time in the day. BO3 as well, kind of short time to get things adjusted as well. But we're going to reveal the map, and again, if we were betting, we'd say Midtown. If we would be winners, my friend, congratulations.
Yeah, we did it for whatever bucks it may be. Caster bucks, I guess. But again, OUG on this map, it's been a ton of fun to watch. And I'll tell you what, Crazy Raccoon on that map was a ton of fun to watch. I've been having a blast over here on this stream, seeing these teams duke it out. And again, folks, OUG needs this, right? So their backs are against the wall. Will they be able to press through that pressure, or will it take them down with Crazy Raccoon?
You know, if you're watching, whether it be on YouTube, Twitch, drop it right now. Is it going to be the continuation of what we just saw from Crazy Raccoon? OUG, who is going to take it from them there? And it's crazy. We just feel the LAN energy even right behind us as the team's set up. They're staring each other right down the eyes. Draft is ready to go. And listen, this was the Mantis ban. Is this now Cap? You just get Cap right out of there. Mantis to Emma, the other side of things, liked what they did with the Emma play. I like that.
Yeah, I see that. At least they're changing things up here. It shows that, you know, they don't want to fall to that same trap that was led for them last time. I mean, this team, OUG, is very confident, but on that map, they looked like a team that was just not prepared for or they just did not have an answer for that kind of pressure. And, you know, you could see the strategy that we saw from Crazy Raccoon. They clearly had set plays that they were used to doing. You saw the Jeff Cap plays, you saw the portal plays, you even saw the defensive portal plays that was prepared in case they wanted the portal off, but no, they decided not to. So we'll see what OUG has on this map, and if that can shock Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, and there it is. There is the Cap save for them. So J-Mac's going to have exactly what he's looking for. Emma going to be banned on the opposite side. And you always got to save the Mantis if they aren't going to ban it, right? I mean, it's just, even if that's not the game plan, it's just too good. Mantis is too much of a difference maker here at the high level, folks. You enable your best player. Molan Ron is quite literally, if we see Iron Fist with a damage boost, good day. That is going to be absolutely the Karate Kid in the making.
Yeah, and just speaking from a world's perspective, the Americas region, although we absolutely respect the Mantis, it's not seen as frequently as these other regions, which is just really designed comps around Mantis completely. It was incredibly strong. Again, you see that Emma band there on the top side because they essentially don't want Cap to struggle. They don't want J-Mac to have any pressure, and Emma does a good job tracking that Cap and just constantly laser beam and then tackle anytime the attack comes through. The slapped in America on the backline.
Yeah, absolutely. With the mag ban as well, so DRP, you know, looked a little bit more obviously shaky on the second map, but we saw what he did on the first one, so they're going to shut that down early too. The save to the Star-Lord is something I love to see. The Jeff going to be banned. Sometimes you see a rocket slip in there potentially, but love what they're going to do in the plan that they have dialed up. Expect NX there. You know, you're going to always have the old triple Vanguard at times, but do expect that Star-Lord to come out with the 1-2 punch. The save over to the Venom is going to now force the Jeff ban. They're baiting this out 100%. They don't even know if they're going to be okay. Woohoo! So Jeff, I like this. I like what they have available potentially.
The right heroes could make
overall, this is looking strong on both ends. I like both drafts, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a glance on these, obviously, after the cast, watching these games back and how these teams perform, but I am very much looking forward to seeing this live in action with all of you and seeing how it breaks out. This map right here is very much known for that triple composition on defense and depending on how you can battle back. But you know what's funny is you haven't seen, there's been plenty of answers to that triple Vanguard, triple strategist, but you know what's an answer that I would consider that hasn't been as meta is having that Iron Fist go in and just pummel those Vanguards and take percentage HP off all of them.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And guess what? That Vanguard pool is limited. And when you take out Doctor Strange as well, my friend, I mean, it completely shakes up this first Main Street push because you have to play absolutely perfect if you're now Crazy Raccoon, who, you know, when you look at it, we actually have these, a bit swapped here at the top. But yes, it is going to be on defense first. On the aggression, we do have the Iron Fist, what we thought we would see, by the way. But J-Mac and Co. are going to be able to get set up on their front.
Yeah, exactly. So that is going to be their solution. We've seen plenty of different teams running different compositions, things like Punisher Storm. We've seen answers like Moon Knight, but have yet to see a team besides this team right here, OUG, which you'll see with Molan, who is going to be on that side on the attack here with that Iron Fist. DRP on the high side here, looking to make a play now. Let's see if that works out on the backside. J-Mac going to try to mark DRP, but there is a ton of survivability on both sides. But wow, that animation cancels clean here from J-Mac. And there's that overhealth, popping E, but still going to be low, finding that health pack. What a bunch of beautiful movement back and forth here. Taro Cookie going to try to combine and get more damage on Cap, but J-Mac coming out on top. Are you kidding me? In a 2v1.
Yeah, man, I just want to get eyes on the prize here of what Molan's trying to do with the kick, the swift, and the punches now. As we take a look once again, it's going to be J-Mac looking for some backline action. There it is. There we go. We've got ourselves Danny going
Oh
crazy.
my goodness.
The tank melter, my friend. After patch, this man has been fine-tuned to be the assassin of the Vanguard position. And if we take a look now, Dewey getting a piece of the pie as well, so this is allowing OUG now, as we take a look at the team names up top, to get more of that offensive leeway, and keep in mind there's not going to be this Strange available for them when they're on this front, so they have to play this perfect.
Yeah, again, I am consistently saying I think this hero is slept on. I think he's the new Wolverine on the front line, and you get to see it right now as Molan has been doing this so consistently here on Fist and doesn't even look like he has lost any speed and momentum, just walking them everyone down. Spald here going to launch the Sia now. Sia is going to be a huge threat. They're not able to burn it quite yet, and there's that damage boost on Molan, who's going to commit the ult as well, and that's a huge combo as 4 go down. What a play. The rest comes through there from Spald on the mash. Duke going to clean up Vital. Vital obviously bring back Shung-Hoon, but it doesn't matter because everyone falls there on the side of Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, man, wax on, wax off, man. That was the living cheat in action. Dude, when you get the Rocket Raccoon damage boost or the Mantis, you continue to stack that on what is just the absolute assassin of Molan round. Felt like they found themselves yet again here. Nice little last-minute touch, though, to keep things interesting. J-Mac going to try to paint the trail of freedom, going right after Mash, but good rotation over. Going to go to the back line now as Lastro has plenty of help to go ahead and snap back into the reality of the Trickster. Once again, it's going to be the slash, the dash, the assassin waltz. Does try to find something, nothing from it, and not even an ultimate, to farm.
Yeah, Taro Cookie going to find Vital there. Molan going to find another on a Lastro. This team is looking so strong. The touch comes through, but will it be for long? Does not seem like it will as J-Mac goes down. JT3 make it 3 from Molan, who is just built different here on Iron Fist.
It's so sick to see. I absolutely love it because, again, we've seen it time and time again. Like, the Black Panther got more popular in group stage, and then we saw Jeff go and explode after what they did there in Rad and win the midseason. My guess is, hey, more Iron Fist on the ladder. Get ready. I'm sure people are thrilled about that. Yeah, as a Vanguard player, I'm sure you're jumping up and down, Chip.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be calling out for that for sure in ladder, as I'm sure a ton of people will be. We see a change here from Crazy Raccoon as NX going to be going to that Punisher, and he's going to be running the Storm Punisher combo on defense, which you typically see as an answer to that triple strategy, or triple strat and triple Vanguard off the rip. So definitely something different, but again, they're just trying to find a way to have a solution, which we saw the exact reverse of last map.
Yeah, just get the shotgun out up close with the fists. If you want to use punches, all right, I'll go and get the Frank Castle special on you, right? As he backs up with the smoke grenade. The Abyss is happening with the lunchtime. Gonna find nothing from it. And just like that, Judge and Jury and all the Executioner is out, but good positioning and rotation here. Going into the safe haven, and this is gonna give them not only a little bit of life here with the rocket ult, but also not gonna find anything from that Punisher. That's rough.
Yeah, Molan is very patient there as Do finds 2 onto NX and Shung-Hoon, and that is a huge backline pick. Spald now on a JT3 playing aggressive there on the Raccoon, saying, I'm the Crazy Raccoon. DRP, though, going to find J-Mac, and that is another clean sweep. Still holding on to Taro Cookie's ultimate, which is going to be a huge threat. The idea now is to burn those crystals from Lastro and press the Q button and see who falls. Vital ready with the Omega Hurricane as well.
Yeah, Do just continues to get a few each time with that quick prison, and man, not only do you get the Iron Fist, you get the damage up. That is just a recipe for disaster as we got these guys opening up, looking for a category 1-2, maybe a fish if the ultimate does find themselves the Mantis to continue to get that rolling for them, as now they're going to get all together, gather to me, as she says now, as they continue to punch, slice, and dice. It's going to be this dance of the butterflies now, trying to find itself its best bit of it. JT3 slamming down, no connection, the rim shaking.
Yeah, that was good movement right there from Taro Cookie, taking that height and invisible, at that same time. DRP, though, going to find NX. Molan waiting for timing, comes in heavy with Taro Cookie on a JT3. Make it 2 as Shung-Hoon goes down, keeping the pressure on the front line. Goodbye, one more. Keep it running now, Molan. And another falls as they take point 2, and they are just walking through Midtown.
Brother, his health is always like well above 300. It's absolutely disgusting. And then Taro Cookie able to take over that Psylocke role. That was what Molan was playing, right? And so that's just such a feast and famine because you could dive together if you so choose. But I mean, right now we see how dangerous this man can be on the roll. Looking forward to what we have. Another imprisonment. He's hit every single one so far. Compare that up with a couple of options. They did that with Molan and the great follow-up there. That frontline brawler we keep talking about. On the other opposition, though, not a lot of room. Shung-Hoon getting close.
Yeah, I think now the idea is to stay as separate as possible or use something like Final Judgment, as you see here from NX, to make sure you cannot be CC to try to help burn Groot if that all comes through. And they got to keep the pressure on Groot, who does escape. Taro Cookie going to fall here from NX, who with a great play, looking up into the high side now as the construction begins. JT is going to find Do, and they're going to look towards the right side. Good retake here. They need to find one more on a match, and yes, everybody at this point is going to fall to reset and probably not spend too much time, or looks like they're still holding to see if they can turn this around, but at this point it's worth the reset, I believe. Mulan in a dangerous spot now, and the stagger comes through there from Vital.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could get to point pretty fast as the Iron Fist, but, you know, trying to get there, I mean, that's what you need. Sometimes you just need that one win of the point to get things recalibrated for the team now. It's going to be quick, though. DRP is allowing no time. Going all the way to the back line is a classic comic book cover of Venom going up the building, looking for his prey to be the slash, the dash as Vital, trying to continue to get that mash to go ahead and ult, and he's going to get it once again, but Mulan and Taro just continue to fill the highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, they're really clutching up here. Those ults are obviously enabling a lot of those duelists to make big plays. Ults available here for Crazy Raccoon, but then you look over at OUG, and there are almost 4 ready for this next fight. Svald working the way up there right now, similar to NX. So there's going to be answers here for things like that Galactic Legend. We see the Eye of Agamotto. The push could be huge here from Svald to try to counter that. I'm sure that's what that cooldown is being held for here, and you shout out how strong Svald's look, but DRP going down early like that's not a good look. You may not have to commit too much here unless the opposition does the same. JMac going to start up here and walk them forward with the Freedom Charge. The team is going to keep the pressure on. The team wants a reset here for OUG, but they're getting walked down, and that all was not worth, I don't believe, from Svald, as a few fall from Vital and Lastro, and that is just going to buy more time before they can reset again with 59 seconds on. Good hold here.
Nothing living about that chi right there. I mean, that was an absolute, I've never seen an Iron Man ult and run back, right? Like that, an Iron Fist, if you will. But yeah, you know, what's great about this combo that's working so well for them is, you know, obviously Iron Fist and that kick able to do a bit more with the lower the health, and so you can combine that with the burst that we've been seeing from Taro. That's kind of been the main game plan. But hey, after the start of that map, going 40 seconds left, that's already a win that they're looking for here. As DRP cannot, you can't get out here. So going to pop the shield, get back with the team, get that full reset here if you are going to be OUG looking for what they have for this. We'll see if Taro tries to find someone out of position.
Galactic Legend off the rip, potentially forcing something out, and that's going to make Mulan go down, and that's a huge pick. Great freeze, but immediately woken up there, and that's a little bit of a communication error, but not a bad move, as it did buy enough time. 14 seconds on. Again, you need to touch with 3 seconds in order for OT to be activated. That is your goal always. Somebody has to be that guy to do that, and here comes that engagement now. 5 seconds, 4, 3. There is the touch over height by a pretty smooth move, getting the touch while walking over, and there comes the ultimate through. Gonna apply and force out crystals. Does not get much more outside of it. JMac, Vital, and JT3, and there goes that eye to clean up the rest. OT ticking down slowly. What a defense here by Crazy Raccoon that say you can't get this done on us, and Vital with a quadra to clean up. Beautiful play.
No portal to be found. They will make a man out of you for Mulan. What an absolute way to finish strong. Again, this is a tough point 2 to get through, so not horrible if you are OUG, but this is it, y'all. Right here, right now, can OUG stay alive in this thing? Keep it interesting. If you're Crazy Raccoon, though, way to adjust. For me, NX on that Star-Lord was a huge answer for what was that constant onslaught, and of course the Bucky.
Again, I couldn't agree more with that. If you're using that Galactic Legend, you see that block come out there for the Fist, you essentially just go to town because he cannot escape you with your movement and your flight, and that's a decent answer, but also that backline, which is forced to commit ultimates consistently. You're always just trying to get ults as fast as possible with Star-Lord, and he really didn't have that much pressure in the sky there. Although you can do a decent job marking flight, as we've seen in past seasons with Iron Fist, especially 100 Thieves, we're running that for a little bit. It's not great into somebody who's as mobile as Star-Lord, or can it use that right-click juke to stay away with those iframes? JMac going to be making the switch here to Daredevil with that. Oh, look at that Lord icon.
I was going to say, it's been how long, and this man has a Lord icon ready to go, man? I'm telling you, time to defeat the Hans. How fitting, too, if Crazy Raccoon can, you know, pull that out now and be a man. Now, looking at what we've got here for the offensive angle, Crazy Raccoon, yeah, you know, honestly, I like the approach of the Daredevil into the NX. Who knows if we'll see it here in the final bit, because, you know, typically it would make more sense for him to go back over to the gap eventually. But with the lineup, what they have could have plenty of snowball potential here, as we do get that swap on, ready to go. Triple strat, triple van, here we go.
Yeah, and the answer here from Crazy Raccoon is a little bit more of a traditional comp. Typically, this hasn't found a ton of success, but it's all about the confidence of that triple comp, and if they can keep them tight. It looks like they're playing a little deep and that's in case a portal play comes through. We've seen that answer, I believe, from Envy, who portal blocked off that backline and forced them into that space. I got to double check on the team comp that ran or decided that strategy, but still not a giant fan of the positioning, but it looks like it's working, as I guess the goal here is to have Dew in the front line just dance on Carr while everyone else plays together in the back and just keep him healthy while he just jukes for days, but they're going to farm ults as much as possible. And the goal with triple Van, triple strat is that you want your Vanguards to take a lot of damage so your strategists have ults available to counter everything. But with one Vanguard on the front, I'm not sure it's enough.
Yeah, not only that, they've got the Agamotto and the Kraken Impact ready to roll right here. So yes, trying to sustain as much as you can, but if they go down, they have no straight portal to get back, so you have to hold as long as you can here. If you are OUG, cannot afford a quick stagger. You've got the rocket res to at least have, as long as it has not been destroyed. They're going to be going right away with it, though. It's going to be Molon Ron throwing out the imprisonment. They got to find something here. They do find 1-2, make it 3, Shib, and that's going to be at least the time ticking down that they continue to need here on point 1.
Yeah, I guess never doubt OUG on this map. What am I talking about? Looking very, very smart. I saw JT3 get that ult incredibly quickly before any of the strategists, so the thought I was thinking was that he was going to go in there, use that jump with Strange to use the forward propulsion. Actually, if you use Strange's jump on a low ceiling, you'll shoot forward, so you can land a good ult, but did not work there. That is going to be a little bit of a healing reduction. Out goes the strat line ult. Great work by NX there to find DRP, and this is going to be a more consistent answer for triple with that Punisher, but not a damage boost to health. It's all going to be in the hands of the guns.
J-Max trying to like push them into the window so he could get in the eyes of NX there. That was absolutely brutal. I mean, this is looking like the final act out of the MCU, as you saw every single ult pop there for him pretty much now with the reset after reset. So this will be a 2-fight win for the point of exact same that it took OUG to get originally, and that is a quick cleanup after a little bit of a falter there early. Now, whoever's over here, Roman, I think it's Dew, you got to stay alive, my friend. Oh no, it's going to be the Venom DRP, so just kind of hanging up tight, ready for the team to dive in and at least stall this thing out a little longer, Ship.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of the ooh, but that is insane. Vital going to find Dew early on. The idea there was going to try to get a touch there with Venom, who pays the price with the setup from Punisher turret on point. J-Mac now walking forward, and Crazy Raccoon are playing lights out. They want to take OUG down with them in this tournament and not allow them to move forward or put them in a dicier spot, or a more risky spot in progressing in this tournament. Jung-Hoon still going to be holding on to that ult here for Crazy Raccoon, and Dew, who did fall early in that fight on Cap, not able to get that off in time, does just get deleted. The idea, instead of portaling back in for point 2, was that they would have the touch come through from Venom or Cap, but they were not able to do that. They just got deleted, and it's very difficult to play those heroes into something like Vital's Bucky.
Yeah, oh, you dead. I mean, that was quick on point 1, man. Oh no, is more like the org name at the moment, though. Looking at what we do have available, you know, typically we see these teams swap, and point 1 went a little bit rough. Now going to kind of stick with what was the tried and true. Molon Ron going to be continuing on the Assassin as we see map after map. This is the moment. This is where they have to hold. If you are OUG, cannot allow this thing to get to point number 3, but if you're JT3 and Crazy, look at the absolutely relentless pressure. The Mantis ult is not going to be enough to outlast infinite bullets there from NX. Good rotation, but that buys him all the space, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he almost put the delete there right on top of Spald. It was very close. Great tracking, but good movement again by Spald. But Lastro going to find DRP, and again, Crazy Raccoon has completely changed the momentum. This might be a fight 3 battle here to see who can progress farther. This point is usually pretty defensible. Oh, Dudu is going to launch ult here. It's matched right back by Lastro with the boundary. Vital holding on ult. JT3, Jung-Hoon, Mash, and Molan, as well as Taro Cookie now. So everybody is prepared in this fight. Molan in a dangerous spot and tried to ult.
No.
It gets taken out by J-Mac.
No way. I mean, that is massive. I mean, I was just about to point at the Vanguards. This is your moment to shine, but just like that, the sword was out and then sheathed just like that, and just easily giving them this point 2 that's so hard to take off to J-Mac. We know he's going to put the aggression on. At least DRP is there to kind of get some sustain, but that timer's going to tick up. Your cap that you need to be able to last there is not going to be available. Man, that is as rough as it gets for OUG. 2 minutes, 7 seconds. It's going to have plenty of time added on. J-Mac's going to go with the freedom charge yet again to get things rolling for the team, and this is a cleanup job here.
Again, Vital finding DRP early on, or Dew, and that's just the entire goal there when you're playing Bucky like that. And there is 3 minutes and 20 on the clock here for Crazy Raccoon in a map that is heavily favored for OUG in terms of stats. They have clearly been working and locking in on this map, and they look insane even after losing that first fight.
And here's the last swap off, right? This is the last stand, last hope for OUG to continue on this thing. They don't even know what they want. We went from a quick little Jeff now over to Loki. That's when you can see teams on the ropes here. But guess what? Crazy Raccoon, they were able to lock and load here, get that defensive hold. They're already halfway there, though. There's 2 minutes 55. That's 3, 4 I mean, there's so many battles they have to win here if they need to do the success job to move forward in this thing. Dude is going to kind of try to get pressure early, but right now it's the Punisher making quick work. It could be 1 ult away from victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting dicey now. It's all about just stalling and playing slow. Getting some answers now. Asphalt is ready with the ult to counter back here from NX, but it's all about tracking. Can NX make that happen through ult? It does do so! On Asphalt as DRP now finds NX, and that is a trade back, but once more, that is a trade through an ultimate, but it is matched again as Lastro committed that boundary. Ults are getting launched once more. Taro Cookie comes in, no reset through just yet. Is going to drop back with the... Oh my goodness. Tries to use the team up to escape, but falls to Vital, and Lastro takes out Mash and NX on to do. This is a horribly dangerous position.
They're matching this perfectly blow for blow, and this is the most important time ever. If you're an OUG fan, it all comes down to this, and there's no life to be had at the moment. We're just going to see if he can get back in time. It doesn't look like there's going to be enough now. The Caps trying to make the play. What a push up on the top. Dives in, 1.41 left, Shib. We've got now Taro out. It's just falling 1 by 1. Lanterns popped early. Powers are his, and this is looking all like Crazy Raccoon.
Wow, what a retake and what a touch. Just meters away, not even at that point, 1:41. This is insane. Again, another trade here. NX going to find DRP up 2 numbers. As the spawn comes through, it's now 1. Is still holding on here. Freedom Charge could be matched right back by Dudu, who is essentially waiting till the perfect time, and there's the match. Sval going to bring back Molan. NX going to find 2 there. Taro Cookie being down is very scary. Hold on the front line, literally at the spawn door. Vital is going to keep pressure on point, though. He's played a crazy Bucky. Lastro finds Mash, though, and that's 1 for Crazy Raccoon again. And there is that Bucky play off. Agamotto launch it, finds 1. Down under, comes in with a Feast, who cannot hold on for long. And that is going to be a W for Crazy Raccoon, who pulls down OUG and does not give them their first win at LAN.
What a way to finish. You know, if you're OUG, I mean, obviously you're just absolutely in shambles on the what if, and if you're Crazy Raccoon, what a way to make your mark as you leave this thing. I'm telling you, man, J-Mac, what we saw in Z, this team was loaded with talent. They barely lost all of their matches. What a game, what a play. Cannot believe that that is going to be the end song for OUG after that opening on domination. It was looking all them.
Wow, I cannot say it enough. Crazy Raccoon. I mean, both these teams have just been leveling up throughout this tournament, just in a very difficult bracket and in some tough circumstances. But look at these teams play. They have been so back and forth. They were so intense, and everybody showed up. And Milan could not stay on that fist for long. The switch there on the attack clearly worked out. And Vital with 20 finals.
You know what? If you're in the chat right now, go and drop like a clap hands emoji, because both these teams, again, battle of adjustments. These are teams that did not go in fully into this LAN with their full teams that they qualled with. And we saw 2 teams that looked locked in step there, especially at the end of Crazy Raccoon. I mean, can I get like a caster push through on some of these teams? I want them to make it to the main stage, man. So much fun for them. We say, again, it's going to be a goodbye to them, you know, with things how they are shaking out most likely. Again, things can adjust, but that's how it is looking in this picture currently as we take a look at what a finish, man, of these 2 teams.
I mean, again, a ton of fun to watch. Happy to have this be the first cast over here heading in to map 3, and it looking like that after